Well, it's the last one of the year.
I know.
Hasn't it flown?
Yeah, I know.
You were about to
Christmas
say,
was great.
Oh, all the presents, all the food. I especially liked the.
Don't worry, I'll add it later.
I especially liked the insert name of present here. It's very useful, or funny, or sad,
or just all of those things.
It's not even been Halloween yet in our world.
I know. I mean, it's close. It's tomorrow.
Yeah, but what can be enjoyed today? The Twilight Zone and Creep Show, Tales from the Crypt, not Creep Show, Tales from the Crypt episode went out today.
Tomorrow.
It
actually goes out on Halloween.
Ooh, it's almost like you planned it.
I know. Imagine if anyone planned this.
You say that, we're fairly organised with how we do shit now.
I mean, considering it's October now and we're recording.
Plus, we can be enjoyed on iTunes now, which is
fucking
exciting.
mad.
So, well done to you for doing that, because you just sent me a message over the weekend like, oh yeah, we're being submitted for iTunes. I was like, fucking hell, that's amazing, because I didn't really play up how important that is, but like the first podcast I ever listened to, I found on iTunes, and now the fact that like I've had over 10 years of listening to podcasts, and now you find out any cunt can do it. Yeah, literally. No, but like being on that as well, it's proper exciting for me. So thank you for doing that, because you arranged the whole thing, and I didn't know anything about it, and it's all sort of I've come back to it, and it's all been done, because we've had a little break from recording because you fucked off on holiday,
and you just, I guess, when I got back, just didn't want to talk to me.
No, I have been trying to put this off for as long as possible. No, so stuff got in the way, and now we're back finally, and we're on fucking iTunes. So if you are listening to us through iTunes,
you just got a slew of messages, just like, oh, here, like we've got a website now. It's here, copilotspodcast.co.uk, I think. Yeah, that's the link. copilotspodcast.co.uk. All of the back catalogues there. I spent like 3 hours like re-downloading everything, because as it turns out, there are actually no MP3s anywhere that are fully edited.
Oh man!
So I downloaded them all off YouTube and went, well, I guess so. And you can't batch upload. You upload them one at a fucking time.
Strap your fucking self in. Jesus.
Yeah, I did I think it took about an hour per season, I think. And then I just had 60 something emails that were just like, your podcast has been published. And I was like, okay, thanks. I just don't care. At this point, that one's been out for nearly 2 years. So... But it does mean if you subscribe now, you get to download every single podcast, because they are all technically the most recent. I mean, to be fair, I have no idea how iTunes works. I don't know if it does just go, well, you haven't listened to any of these. Have them all. But it was like, it'll just download the most recent one. And I was like, but it's downloaded all of them. Fair enough. But yeah, no, I was super excited. I was mostly excited just to be like, hey, Joe, look, there's our website. You can look at it. And then I was like, all I need to do is this, and then iTunes maybe. And I got the email through. I think it was yesterday.
Yeah, you sent me the thing yesterday, because
you've been approved. And I was like,
that was it. I'm in the car on the way home from work. Got the fucking message. I was like, holy shit! So it's proper exciting. So. Yeah, hello iTunes. Give us a 5-star review. That will help. If you don't want to give us anything less than 5 stars, please don't review it.
Yeah, I think once I've gotten over the whole it. To be fair, it's just everywhere. I think it might be pretty much anywhere you can get podcasts now, apart from Spotify.
Oh no way! I'm gonna have to check my own.
I'm not
I use for podcasts. Because I haven't even
What
thought
app's
to do
that?
that yet.
Because I don't know. Like I don't. Just yeah, if you can find it, tell me.
Yeah, we'll do.
Yeah.
Alright,
Because I think it will probably take a few weeks, and we'll just go through clearing up places that it could be. Like, wait, if I open, I've got like a text document that just has all of the places there is. It's on Pocket Cast.
oh, that's the one I use. Sweet.
Oh, cool! It's on Pocket Cast. It's on Player FM.
Yep. Are we on Acast?
We might be. I think they just pull straight from iTunes.
Do you know
so
what?
we
Actually, that rings a bell. I think they do.
Yeah, I think it's submitted to Stitcher, which is the
Yep.
Android Google Play one. I haven't checked the email, so fuck it, let's do it live.
This is a great episode. It's just admin for the first
I know, yeah.
6
well,
minutes.
okay, this is our announcements bit.
Is this what you might term parish news?
We are on Stitcher.
Births, deaths, and marriages.
I don't know. Do you get those on Stitcher? Because you know what you can get on Stitcher.
The
The
fucking
Co-Pilots
Co-Pilots podcast. I've just thought that birth, marriages, and death would be an amazing name for a podcast. I don't know what it would be about, but I think that could be quite cool. Maybe about the church. Could be a good thing about the church. An expose.
Or you could just use it to talk about every episode of TV where someone dies.
Or gets married or is born.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have years of content just out of EastEnders alone.
Oh my god, that wouldn't stop, would it?
Yeah, I think that's all the places that it's still going to be on YouTube. All the links and stuff they'll be somewhere. Probably, if you're watching on YouTube, in the description. If you found us somewhere else, we'll still be there. Like, just stay there.
And I'd see that on the website as our Twitter handles. So feel free to send us a message, or whatever. If you want to have a chat, you want to give us, I'd say, suggestions for future episodes. But we sort of already have planned series 4.
Yeah, but
we
still
can intersperse specials maybe.
Yeah, like I'm open to do more, to be fair. And obviously next year there's going to be co-directors run alongside. So
We've announced that, haven't we? Possibly. But should we say let's
we
say,
have now.
There's so there's going to be another. Because think about it, if this has just gone out on iTunes, there's going to be a lot of people's first introduction is going to be
Christmas. So
Christmas.
yeah, now would probably be a good time because it's coming out in fucking January. I hope.
Yeah. Okay. So over the next year, we've done co-pilots for 3 series, and we both love doing it. I don't really. It's a highlight of my week is recording these. So we're going to continue with co-pilots, but we're also going to start up another podcast, which is called Co-Directors, which has very, very recently undergone some changes as to what the format was going to be. But basically, we're going to take film directors and discuss their first feature film. So almost their pilot film, if you like.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a good way because I don't normally watch films by directors specifically.
I have done.
I think I'm going to find it real interesting. I think.
Because at certain times, studying film, there's certain pieces of work that you feel you should have seen, or at least work by certain artists you should have seen. So that led to me buying. I've got a David Lynch box set and a Hitchcock box set, which you came down a couple of weeks ago, and we watched Psycho from that.
Yeah,
very box
because
set.
I'd finally finished Bates Motel, so
That was it.
it's a good time, and it was like that was just not weird for me. I really enjoyed doing that, having watched the TV show first, which I feel like is just wrong.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be the other way around, but it was really like watching it going, oh, it's quite. So I mean, there's just more hours in the TV show, but like it was, especially the last season was fairly true to the film. with just a little bit of
Yeah.
few changes, but it was good.
So that's the new podcast that we're going to do alongside. So every other week that will come out. So the release schedule will look like co-pilots, co-directors, co-pilots, and so on and so forth. So it'll be alternating every week. So hopefully you can get on board with that one once we've done.
And in 3 years it'll be on iTunes. So
hopefully we can get that one straight up on iTunes. We'll have to figure something out for that one. But anyway, so that's sort of the parish notices for this episode. Have you got anything else you want to announce, discuss, inform the listeners of before we get into the Idris Elba special?
No, apart from just to preface this whole Idris Elba special with, when I picked these two shows, I was unaware that Idris Elba was in both of them. That is not the link. The link is crime.
Okay, well, let's jump straight into one of the shows then. Which one would you like to discuss first?
I watched The Wire first, and also The Tabs first.
Okay,
so
we'll do The Wire.
Also, it's older, so
It is 2002. Now,
yeah.
do you remember way back in 3 years ago when we first decided to do this? We discussed a little-known TV show called Breaking Bad.
Yes.
Do you remember me telling you the story of how I received a DVD in the year 2008? So it literally was 10 years ago. I got a DVD of the first series from a family friend, and how it sat on my DVD shelf until I went to uni.
Yes.
The same person also bought me the DVD of The Wire, which for the first time I watched today.
Yeah. No, I think,
so that
to be
wins.
fair, I think I have a season 1 of The Wire kicking around here somewhere.
I seem to remember you having it at uni.
Yeah, because my dad lent it to me, and he was like, yeah, you should watch this, and I was like, no, yeah, maybe.
Turns out,
Turns out 7 years later.
I think your dad might have been right.
He definitely was. The thing, I was talking to him when we were on holiday, talking about because I was like, it's really cool because when I get back, I sort of know what I'm doing. I'm watching these TV shows. He was like, yeah, you'll like The Wire, and I was like, yeah, I know, you told me that 7 years ago, and I didn't listen then, but now it's on our list, so I have to watch it.
Have you had that, just to jump out of discussing The Wire, which we did for 2 seconds, have you had that conversation of you telling your family, that you make podcasts? Have you had that conversation and they've said, oh, so what's a podcast? Have you've had to explain to them what that is, or are they fairly savvy?
No, they sort of understood what it was. I had to explain the format, and they were like, why do you only watch the first episode? And I was like, because it might be shit. We can't say we're going to review the first season of each TV show because they might be hot garbage.
That would take forever. And then you've watched 13 hours of shit. I was having this argument, if you like, with Mitch, who's a friend of mine, just yesterday, because he maintains that you should give a show 4 episodes, and I went, that is absolute horse crackers. If you can't grab me in 4 hours of entertainment, of story, of character development, I don't care. And he used the example, he said, well, no, because with Spartacus, the first 3 episodes are rubbish, and the 4th one is amazing, and from there on it's brilliant. I was like, yeah, but I don't want to sit through 4 hours of crap. It's like going, such and such a show is really good. It kicks in around series 5. You got to muddle on through. Well, I haven't got time to be doing that. And he maintains that you can't judge a series on the first episode, and I was sort of like, oh god, no, but we've been doing it for 3 years. So.
Yeah, we've got hundreds of hours of recordings of just us doing that very thing. But I mean, with TV shows made by streaming services, I would agree that they don't have that killer pilot.
Well, there's not really any need for
they
it.
Don't,
now.
yeah,
if
they
Netflix
don't
put
need
something,
it.
Yeah, if Netflix are like, we're confident enough in this idea that we'll drop the whole series in one go, it completely gets rid of the need for the pilot. So it doesn't have to grip you right away. Well, I mean,
it fucking helps.
It should. which we will get to in the break between discussing The Wire and Luther. I think it might become apparent to the listeners that we haven't spoken to each other in like 3 weeks, but I've got some shit to tell you about what we've been watching recently. So, shall we get back? Sorry to diverge away from The Wire, but let's talk about The Wire.
Yes.
Just remind me to just ask me what it is we've been watching recently. So yeah, The Wire. I got to be honest.
I actually had no idea what this was about. To be fair, the title really gives not a lot away.
Having watched it, I realise I think maybe I've seen a bit of it somewhere previously. So it's all set in Baltimore, and something I absolutely loved about this show is that, for one thing, people talk like real people do. Like, there's scenes where McNulty, who's Dominic West's character, he's in a bar with his mate, and he's just saying over and over again, I'm fucked. I'm absolutely fucked. I've completely fucked this. And it's like, well, a script writer might be thinking, okay, you're labouring the point there. But no, it's conversational, it's natural. That's what you'd say. That's what that guy would say at that point, which is great. The other thing it does is it just drops you in the middle of something going on, and it goes, right, come on, keep up. You've really got to pay attention.
I love a show that does that.
Yeah, it's like there's already a pre-established world. It doesn't explain what any of the acronyms are. It doesn't explain what any of the police terms are. It doesn't explain what, when they're talking about selling the drugs, the Barksdale organisation, the guys who are out in the projects selling the drugs, they don't explain to you how their language works. You don't know how the police language works. It just goes, right, this is what happens. You got to keep up, and you got to use a bit of common sense to try and figure out what it is being said.
Do you know what else they didn't explain? Which side Luther's on.
I went into this thinking, oh, okay, well,
because he's
just
sitting in the
team.
courtroom scene at the start, and I was like, oh, he's on either, like, he's on a team of lawyers.
Yeah.
He's either defence or prosecution. But then he's just out there, like, being like, no, you live over there now because you're not very good at selling drugs or something. And I was like, wait, but you're wearing a suit.
Well, even
a good guy.
Even so far, it completely wrong-foots you in the first interaction. So you're following McNulty, and you're like, okay, this is the lead guy. And he goes into the courtroom and sits down behind Stringer, who's Idris Elba's character, and he goes so far as to look round, acknowledge he's there, and then show him a little cartoon he's been drawing, to which McNulty's like, huh, oh yeah. And so you're thinking, oh, okay, well, clearly they know each other. And it turns out they're on completely different sides.
Yeah, it was great, because it's one of those shows where you start off just not really knowing what's going on, which is great. I have a lot of respect for a show that does that. And because this doesn't do the normal thing where they've gone, oh, here's a new person to this team, so we're just going to stand around for 10 minutes introducing every character, and it's like, but I need to know who they all are.
I'll tell you what, we've had that a lot. We've done a fair few sort of police procedural crime shows.
I didn't know it was a thing until, like, we started watching. I think we did like a run of, like, there was like 5 or 6 shows. And I was like, they have that in everything. Like, it was most evident in Quantico, where basically the whole pilot episode was going, so this is who this is, and this is this person, and it,
absolutely.
Which makes, for Quantico, it makes a lot of sense, because that's a training course. That's your first day. Like, it's your first day at uni, just finding out, like, well, sort of meeting everyone.
Yeah.
But if it's just someone new on a team. Like, I've been working on a team for 2 years. I don't fucking know everyone. I know the people that I talk to every day.
But I think what you're hitting on there is also because it just drops you in. I'm instantly.
I'm paying more attention.
I'm paying more attention. I'm also finding it that much more immersive, because I'm like, okay, well, these are real relationships each character has with each other. They know each other. It's making no effort of going, like you say, this is this guy. And it made it feel that much more real, that much grittier. It's like it is literally like you're a fly on the wall, and you're just seeing these people's lives without. I can't figure it. I can't articulate what it is I'm trying to say without sort of.
It feels more like reality TV.
Yeah, it removes a layer of. Oh, I'm watching a fictional show. Do you know what I'm getting at?
Yeah, I know what you're getting at. I know what you mean, but I would have no idea how to articulate it.
No, I will. Hopefully.
What I like is that there are because there are so many different characters in different situations. You get all these sort of little story threads that I'm sure are all interconnected in some maddening web of conspiracy. But you start off and you're just like, okay, so these guys are on the same team, maybe. Okay, no, Luther might actually be a baddie. Cool, right. Gonna need time to process that. And then it's like, oh, but these guys, they're all goodies because they're all police officers, but they don't like each other for some reason. And now this guy's talking to and then I was just left at the end just going like, I think I just need to watch the rest of this.
That's the thing is I've not felt this very often, but I really felt like I could have just hit play on the DVD and just let it run. Like I wasn't at all. I never thought, oh, how long's this been on? I never thought anything other than it's gripping, but not in the way that like 24 is gripping, where it's sort of the narrative has to get to a point where it's okay, it's even between advert breaks, like okay, there's a slight cliffhanger, a little cliffhanger. There's no sort of
urgency.
Yeah, it's very willing to take its time, and
but I think also while it's still willing to take its time, there's also through all of the drug dealing and the gangs and stuff and what they're up to, it makes it like there is a sense of tenseness there.
Yeah.
Because it feels like that whole situation could just real implode real fast. And so I think you get all of the tense stuff from that side, but then you've got like the police officer through side that's also going like, we need to do this right, we need to take our time. So that like they're juxtaposed and they're sort of one sort like when you're with the gang, you're like, okay, right, this is like we're getting into the shootout, and then it will just cut back and be like, okay, no, we're slowing down, we need to take our time. And so it not stop starts, but like I think there's more of a slow build, but then once they both get to the same speed, like it's going to be real exciting.
The other thing about that is I think because it's driven more by the character relationships, like it's gonna make, because inevitably people are gonna die because it's a crime show, and it's gonna make those deaths feel that much more impactful.
Yeah, because you're gonna get to feel them through the characters as well as sort of being like, but I liked that guy.
And
so they'll have more. I feel like they'll have more impact than a lot of the deaths in The Walking Dead.
Yeah, completely. Because that's death. Incidentally,
apart from Noah will always break my heart.
Incidentally, quite a few cast members from Walking Dead pop up in The Wire, didn't they?
Yeah, Father Gabriel, he was there.
Yeah, and the guy who plays D'Angelo, I think he's Bob, right? The chap who get his leg cut off and eaten.
Possibly. Not a lot of memory of like
sure.
There was a big slump in Walking Dead where I just don't remember anyone apart from Noah and Beth, and I'm like, you guys.
I'm pretty sure it is. If not, it's a striking resemblance, but
to be fair,
be
just another sidetrack to what the people from Walking Dead have been in. I watched with my family. My parents really wanted to watch Black Panther, and I could not find a way to watch it. So I was like, "Well, I've got Batman v Superman on YouTube. Would that do it as a substitute?" And then I was watching it, and for the first time, I noticed that not only like Jeffrey Dean Morgan was obviously Batman's dad, but
His
Sharon
mum.
plays Martha.
Yeah.
Maggie
I
from
know.
The Walking Dead. And then I get back, I'm catching up on The Walking Dead, and I'm like, you guys used to be such good friends. You were married. What happened to you?
Have you been watching Walking Dead?
Yeah, and I'm still watching it because, I've already given it so much of my life.
I haven't. I just
I think
haven't.
you might be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Luther not Luther. Liar. It's very confusing. Both the shows have Idris Elba in. I'm very confused.
Yeah, I mean,
What I like is that there are definitely two teams of police officers. That I worked that out.
but I think what is going to be really interesting is the fact that at quite near the end of the episode, there's the chap whose friend's been beaten up and he's put in the intensive care unit, and he has a chat with a police officer he clearly knows, and she knows him, and she knows that he's like an addict, or even he might have been.
Oh yeah, he's an informant, I think.
I don't know if that's in that scene where he says, "You still work in narcotics?" When he says that, is that him saying, "Right, this is me inviting my services to you as an informant," or is it because he's already an informant?
Yeah, I think the thing that appeals to me is not the actual solving of the crime, because it's clear that everyone knows what's going on.
Yeah.
But I got the impression that Luther
String a bells.
is very important. So I feel like, because they're sort of saying like, there's this one guy we're looking for, and no one knows him. We don't have a picture. Like, I feel like it's implied that it's him, but it might not be.
Yeah.
But I think that he's probably going to be key to like this whole story. That seems to revolve around him, with him not really being in the episode that much.
Yeah. Yeah. But like you say, that's something that I find really admirable, is the fact that if you compare it to some of the other crime pilots we have, the pilots tend to be self-contained stories, that like little crime of the week that is wrapped up in the same episode, and there is absolutely no attempt to do that.
Yeah, this is definitely not that. Like, it might not even be crime of this season. It might just be, this whole show is just solving this one case.
Yeah.
And as long
It's
as
not
those
even-
relationships are like work together, I'm good. Like, give me that.
But I liked the fact that they're having the discussion of how the war on drugs is useless. He says, well, one character says, it's the difference between, what was he say? He says something along the... Anyway, it ends with him saying, the war on drugs, it's ridiculous. He goes, why is that? Because wars end. And it's like, it's so prevalent, the drugs are so prevalent, it's like it's just damage limitation that they're constantly having to do. There's no way they're going to be able to stop, drug trafficking in its entirety in their community, but,
Yeah. I like the idea that it might also start out as this, you've got, like, the gangs and the police. I think you see some interaction, there are lawyers and stuff around. But I like the idea that then it might expand and you'll get people from different walks of life coming in. So, like, you could maybe start to show, like, the effect that the press might have on, like, because say, like, end of season 1 is like they arrest the guy, and then he's in trial, and then you show the effect that the press can have on the trial and how they could potentially derail it and stuff. And so, like, I mean, to be fair, I'm just gonna smack. I want to watch the rest of this. Like, it's been real hard not to.
I really, really enjoyed it, and like I said, I finished it only an hour or so ago, and I could have just sat there and just let the whole thing run and just let it all wash over me. But there's a lot of depth to it. And even so far as like McNulty and D'Angelo's stories pretty much mirror each other. Like, they both have scenes where they make a mistake and they're taken up to their sort of head honchos, and they have to apologise for what they've done to fuck up, and then they're sort of, D'Angelo's taken out from his tower. He said, right, now you're working on the pit, so you got to go and sell drugs in the open area rather than sitting in the cushy tower. And McNulty's like, right, you're going off to go and work with this team who's going to try and nail this guy who's in the project.
Yeah, it was so. Yeah, I didn't actually notice the mirroring. Because I was sort of watching it, just like not confused, just a bit sort of like, okay, we're just going then. Like, when's the new team member coming so he can introduce me to everyone? But at the same time, I was really interested. I think maybe more in the drug dealer side of the story, because I feel like you get a lot of these are the police officers trying to catch the criminals.
Yeah.
So it was more because you normally see, especially if it's like a crime of the week sort of thing, you see snippets of what they're doing as you find evidence of what they've been doing when the police find it. But just getting like here's a character, he's down here because he literally killed someone. And when he gets there, they're like, oh, what did you do to get sent back down here? And he's like, I literally killed someone. And they're just like, oh, ooh, big man. And then they beat someone into a coma.
It's a lighthearted.
It seems like he's going to ramp up the violence down there, I feel.
Because they seem to have just control things.
Well, I think, because they sort of... I feel like that it's one of those things, like, if you... I don't know, where he's down there and they've just kind of been just ticking over.
I guess, yeah.
And he's going in there and he's like, I could make this my new tower.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's going to ramp shit up down there, and then it might even become like two rival gangs.
That would be a really interesting dynamic if he managed to raise up a gang against Stringer at the same time that the police are putting pressure on him. That would be
it would be
interesting.
Like it could. The thing that's really cool is because it's not set up in such a way of like, cool, in 5 episodes we're going to catch this guy. It's just sort of like we don't know how long this is going to take. It almost makes it more enticing to watch. Because when you sort of go, oh yeah, no, I know there's... Like, to be fair, I know there's 5 seasons of it, so it's not going to go on forever, but... I can imagine that when this came out, you'd be like, oh, cool, so is it next week yet? Because I really need to know what's going to happen. Whereas now, I'll watch it over the weekend.
Yeah, it is, as everyone says, it is really good.
Yeah, my dad was so right.
So I think I will watch it, but I've got quite a few things I want to watch.
Yeah,
first.
It's maddening, isn't it? Just
before I get to it,
because we've had the back half of the season has been real fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah, we still haven't finished Channel Zero, but
I haven't watched any more because I just keep Daredevil season 3 came out, started watching that and went, I don't know if I can be bothered.
Nah, Marvel TV stuff I just bounce off.
Yeah,
like Daredevil, the first series of Daredevil was brilliant. I really enjoyed it, but series 2,
season 2 was really good as well.
I just couldn't get into it. Even with the Punisher, which is mad because I love the Punisher.
Well, season 3 they're bringing Fisk back, so we're actually getting like a more sort of Kingpin-y thing.
I didn't know he wasn't in series 2.
He was like a background character. He beat the shit out of the Punisher. That was pretty much all he did.
Wasn't he in prison?
Yeah.
Yeah, that rings a bell.
But now he's sort of out of prison, but not really, because he's still under house arrest. But I feel like he's slowly gonna
break out.
Not. I don't think he's even going to break out. I think he's going to remain there, but build power from not leaving. But yeah, no, that's besides the point. So we're both going to continue on with The Wire.
At some point, yes, when I get all my other stuff out of the way.
Yeah. So now, slight segue. What are the other things that you mentioned you wanted to tell me?
Oh man, right. I'll start on the low key one. I have been finally, after, hang on, I've got to find the episode that we talked about it. I think it must have been series 2 then. Was it series 2? Yes, it was series. What has it got? Yeah, series 2. So I have been continuing with Preacher, because I was listening to a lot of podcasts about comics and stuff, and I thought, oh man, I really love Preacher, like the books. So I thought, oh fuck it, I'll just give it another whirl. And it's 40 minutes, so it's not even that long, so it's nice and concise. And it is fucking amazing. I'm now, I think, halfway through series 1, and I loved the pilot, and I didn't watch any more of it after the pilot for some reason. I was convinced in my head I'd watched like a good few episodes, but it is literally only the pilot I'd seen. And then I just carried on watching, and it's just amazing.
Yeah, we both if I remember right, casting my mind back a year.
It was the first episode of series 2.
Yeah, like I think we both really liked that.
Yeah.
Oh, on the same note, because we did that with Constantine, didn't we?
Yes.
Constantine is now a series regular on Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah,
and I'm so fucking hyped. Yeah, the show came back, and I'm like, yeah, Constantine. It's weird because the show's taking a really weird turn where I'm like, I don't understand anymore. Because you were just time traveling, fixing history. Now it's a unicorn.
What? I'm not even gonna.
The most recent I had a fairy godmother, and I was like, I don't understand. But okay.
And then so I've been watching Preacher, which has been great, and I watched the first episode of the new Sabrina the other day.
Oh, I want to watch that.
It is banging.
I've been trying. There's a reason that I haven't added it to the podcast list, because I'm like, maybe I just watch this one.
No, that is fucking great. But this leads me on to what I think is the best thing Netflix has ever done.
Gilmore Girls.
Well, Netflix didn't really make that. One of the best things they ever did was putting it on Netflix. Definitely.
Yeah.
But, no, it's. Have you? I don't imagine you'd have watched it because it's probably not your cup of tea. But
let's hold off on casting those sort of judgments.
Have you heard much about The Haunting of Hill House?
I have heard about it. It's like in the back of my head. It's on my list of things I want to watch.
It's the best thing Netflix have ever made. It's so good. It's genuinely like, because obviously I'm a massive horror nerd, and I don't really get scared by that much anymore because I'm sort of desensitized to it. I've watched so much scary shit, but there's something about this show that just fucking gets under my skin and scares the fucking bejesus out of me.
It's meant to be like it's unnerving. Is what I've heard.
Which is
a lot.
Which is what you want from horror. You don't want to be made to jump the whole time because a jump scare is just a loud sound and a sudden movement.
And also jump scares. Horror films don't do them well because they always change the music, and it's like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen now.
Yeah, well, it's films like The Conjuring.
Oh fuck! I was hovering over the Netflix thing and it was showing me the trailer, and I just saw there's kids in it. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Oh no, it's properly amazing. But the films like The Conjuring and Annabelle, all that stuff, they're all sort of sold on where they can mechanically manufacture jump scares, and it's just that's not how you do horror. If you want to scare someone, you got to get under the and fuck me, does this get under the skin? So I won't tell you anything more about it in case you do go and watch it.
I am going to,
but it is the
point.
Best thing that Netflix have done, and we're I think halfway through. I think we've watched 6 episodes of it, and I think there's only 10, or is it 12? Might only be 10, but it's utterly incredible storytelling.
Yeah, it's only 10. The final episode's 71 minutes though, so.
Oh, they had one in there that was 1 hour 15, so. And that fucking flew by because it was terrifying.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, the only thing that annoys me about it, right, is I know that it's the name of a novel, but like it just every time I'm like I'm talking about board games, and people are like, "Oh, what's a board game you like to play?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, I like to play The Haunting of House Hill," and I'm like, "That's not what I mean."
You can't say that anymore.
Betrayal at House on the Hill.
And the other confusing thing is one of my favourite horror films with Vincent Price is called shit. What is it? Hang on, The Haunting of Hill. No. See, I can't even.
There are houses in hills.
Is it House on Haunted Hill? Oh fuck! What is the? I can't.
No, House on Haunted Hill is a thing.
Hang on.
I think.
Vince Price House on Haunted Hill. Is that what it is? I can't.
I mean, it sounds like a thing.
Yeah, The House on Haunted Hill. Yeah, it's one of my favourite horror movies. It's a black and white Vincent Price thing. I watched it. It was one of the very first horror things I saw, and I feel
like a lot of what we're discovering is that we both like things about houses and hills.
Yeah, there's too many things, because there was a film called The Haunting, which is based on the Shirley Jackson novel, and The House on Haunted Hill, and we like the board game Betrayal at House on the Hill, and now there's The Haunting of Hill House, and it's just. So just go somewhere else. Stop building houses on hills.
That's one of those real quintessential like horror tropes, though, isn't it? Like, oh look, there's a spooky house on a hill. And it's like, yep, that's scary.
Sorry, I had a coughing fit halfway through that. Shall we talk about Luther?
Oh, I think we should, because did you know that Idris Elba is also in this show?
Is he?
Yeah, no, you might not have noticed him. He was just, the main character.
No, didn't notice.
Did you not notice that I called him Luther for the whole of the when we were talking about The Wire?
Yep. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, cool. I really like this.
Yeah, I think I've seen this a couple of times. I think Lisa and I did start watching this a little while ago. I think we got like 3 episodes in, and then it just fizzled. For no real reason. Like, it's not like, oh, this is crap.
I think I've started it before. I think I got like 5 or 6 minutes in and just decided that I wasn't in the mood.
Yeah.
And then, but what was really weird is the only thing that I had against the pilot episodes. One thing is that I figured out who did the murder real quick.
Yep.
Like, she phoned and I was like,
well, it's fucking you.
I was like, you're too calm. I mean, I know you're crying, but you don't... Like, you're also, not standing anywhere near the bodies.
Yeah.
You did it. And then, like, it was like some big revelation there. I was like, yeah, I know. She did it. I don't know why, but she did it. But then again, I really liked the whole... And she's just like, yeah, we'll fucking prove it. And he's just like, I can't. But I know it was you.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like...
Yeah, there's a lot of, is he a good person or not?
What I was going to say is there's a lot of... where we are talking about The Wire, about how it's all quite realistic and, it's all low-key stuff and character-driven. A lot of this stuff is,
This is more crime-driven, I think.
I think it's very, like, it's contrived. Like, it's a grander narrative. It's like, Sherlock levels of, oh, this is what it means to be a criminal. This is what it means to be a copper. This is what it means to be a serial killer. Blah, blah, blah. It's all, like the conversations they have on the bridge and everything like that. But yeah, no, I really like it, and I think he's amazing at it.
Yeah, what I like is that he seems to be someone who could like, his character seems like John Luther is someone who could, I feel like, very easily just become a criminal.
Yeah, it's like the best. It's like the best issues of Batman are the ones where it's like you're not sure if, like, at any given point he could just flip out.
Yeah, it's like one of those, like, you'll only live long enough to see yourself become the villain sort of things.
Yeah. That's why Batman and the Joker work so well, is because, and this is what Joker tries to prove in The Killing Joke, is that, Batman is one bad day away from becoming the Joker.
Yeah, that was the whole plot of Gotham season 4.
What, they actually did The Killing Joke?
No, they did the whole... because Bruce Wayne's not Batman yet.
Yeah, I find it weird how they've got all these characters coming in, like, and he's not Batman yet. It's like, okay, well, at what point is he gonna?
What they've sort of done is they've done like an origin story ish for the Joker. And he's now.
They completely shat on that though. I saw an article explaining what had happened. It's like it's a real bollocks narrative contrivance as to how that doesn't work. If you don't know what it is, I'm not going to say what it is because I read something about it and I read it and having not seen the show went, oh fuck off.
Well, no, they did like a bunch of different like smaller Joker stories. Like they did the whole like someone was just wearing his face for a bit. They did that and then he had it sewn back on.
Yeah. No, this was a kid.
But then it swapped from him to his brother after he died, and like that was real weird.
I think that was it. It was akin to like it was all a dream. It was his brother. I was like, oh, do you know what?
Oh no! They were both the Joker. They are now like. It starts off as Jerome, and then he takes it up to like towards the end of season 4, but then he dies to like. I don't know why he decides that death is fine, but he does because he's like, I've got a grander scheme, and also I really want to kill James Gordon. But he like passes the mantle on in a sort of like he sprays his brother with this insanity gas developed by him and Scarecrow. All of these supervillains who have no vigilante to fight yet.
Yeah, it's a weird like, but you saying that it does actually sound quite good. So.
Yeah, like it's one of those things where it's this sort of John Luther and James Gordon are fairly similar characters who are kind of like they both are so like I want to do the right thing, but sometimes the Lord doesn't let me. So you're holding on. Well, I don't need to help you up. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, it really hints at like that Alice Morgan is going to be more to Luther than just the one that got away.
Yeah, because he's already had that breakdown over trying to get Henry Madsen. So the fact that he's even getting close to that. A similar sort of. I guess no one else knows apart from him that he can't prove anything. But no, I think it's a really effective police procedural. Like, and you got people like Michael Smiley are going to coming into later episodes, and he's one of my favourite.
Well, you've got Rose Leslie turning up at some point as well.
I don't know who that is.
That's Ygritte from Game of Thrones.
Oh, is it? Oh, cool.
But I have my doubts that she'll be Northern, so it'll be weird. Like any interview of her I've ever seen, I'm just like, nah, it's weird. Could you just go back to being Northern, please? I feel like it's how you should sound.
It's very different to The Wire. Like I was saying, it feels more contrived, but it's shit about serial killers, and we're both quite big fans of that. So and also his code.
Not in like a weird way. In like a. It's very interesting that people can do that way. Not in like we're doing research.
I like how volatile he is. Like when he goes around to see his ex-wife. Actually, that was one part that I did think was okay. That's a bit too far. Is when he punches the shit out the door. I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know if that's going to reflect you in the best light.
I think a lot of it is. I think it's partly like the whole. This is the first episode, and I think it's a lot of.
It's like, oh, we're edgy.
I think it's a lot of showing you that he's on edge.
Yeah.
And.
It's quite a.
What like is that someone says, "Oh, phone the police," and he just goes, "I am the police," and it's like, yes, you are, but they're going to phone police who are less likely to beat the shit out of them.
But yeah, no, I really like it, and I think again, I think this would be really good Christmas viewing. Like just sitting there and just blasting through it while nothing's going on. I think that's what I'll pitch this to.
That's probably what I'll do, because it's what at this moment in time, 10, 14, 16 episodes.
Yeah, that's nice and contained. So
Yeah. Oh, they're
Yeah.
making more, so
oh, better get on it then.
yeah. I want to, like, the thing is, it's weird because we're watching. There's so many of these good shows, but they're already finished by the time we get to them. I kind of want to find a show on the podcast and then be able to just continue watching it like a normal person. Because it happens so. Although I was seeing that like season 5 of Channel Zero's airing, I'm like, yeah, but I haven't even really started season 1. So
I haven't finished series 1 yet. Jesus, you got the DVDs, haven't you?
yeah, I've got them, but you know, I just keep stuff.
Same
we
as
keep
Black
watching
Sails.
Fuck yeah, no, I still got those as well. When did we do that? Was that
Black Sails was
season-
series 1.
Yeah, where's Black Sails in that?
To be fair,
there it is.
We did Dracula, didn't we? I've got the DVD of Dracula here. I think I got maybe 3 episodes into 4, maybe 5.
When I was when I was going through uploading all of the podcast stuff, I saw the Dracula episode and I was like, I remember like us doing smart talking in that. So I was like, I'll listen to it to see if I can get any pointers for modern me. And then I was listening to it and I was like, oh, I really liked that show. Why the fuck haven't I watched any more of it?
Oh, well, you can take the DVDs off us if you want. I'm probably not going to watch it anytime soon.
We'll sort that out next time.
Yeah,
I see you in person.
I'm sure that'll be soon. I imagine. But,
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, that's it. That's
yeah.
all the TV shows for series 3. We've done it.
I know. It's also the first year we've actually we've gone, right, this is all the shows we're going to do this year, and
we're
done
doing
them.
it. Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
there's been no
It's been
real
emotional.
issues. Yeah, no, it has. It has been. Mostly that I know it's not over. Like, that's the bit that's making me sad.
But yeah, so if you have stuck with us after all 3 series, and to let's be honest, why would you? Thanks very much for listening.
I'm
If you-
surprised we've even stuck around. for
Yes,
this
that's
season.
true. Again, if you want to get in touch with us, our Twitter handle's on the website, copilots.co.uk. We're on Instagram and Twitter. So our Twitter handle is @RealCopilotspodcast. Instagram is @TheRealCopilotspodcast.
Yeah, these are really, like, so simple. Like, well, you're at JDuke93 on Twitter.
That's me. Yeah, you are at.
I'm at ChardAllen1990, because, you know, that's when I was born.
Yep, because you're old as fuck.
Yeah.
You're about to be a little bit older as well, aren't you? Someone's
I know,
got a
I'm
birthday
about to-
coming up
Yeah, it's me. I'm about to be fucking 28, mate.
in less than a
Gonna be
week.
Yeah, no, it's really good because I decided to take like a week off for my birthday just so I
Nice.
can, you know, accept it.
Just cry.
Yeah, so I'm actually off from like Thursday until the next. I'm basically from tomorrow. I'm off for a week.
That's wicked. Do you know what else is really good about Thursday? Is that Thursday is my first day this year of my reduced hours. I go on to winter hours in 2 motherfucking days, which means we are going to record mad podcasts.
Yes. Yes,
So,
we will.
So, following this, there will be a top 5 special, which we attempted to record last year.
Yeah,
but
it went real bad.
That ended up just being a simple Instagram post. So we're actually going to do.
Well,
a
no,
top 5
there is a podcast episode for that, but it's mostly. I think we just discussed the rules of the top 5, and I make a joke about you wanking with your knuckles,
Oh yeah.
which really was a real highlight of my year last year, was making that joke. And so I was like, no, just send me the audio. No,
That isn't-
I'm gonna make this podcast.
That isn't the best joke you've made this year, though. I maintain the best joke you made this year was basically my company. I work for a landscaping company, and
Oh, that
so,
joke.
you know, we cut. Yeah, no, it's amazing. So you know, we cut grass and cut hedges, all that sort of stuff. We're gardeners, basically. We got broken into a couple of weeks ago, and they made off with a whole bunch of stuff like our vans and the engines and the wheels to our vans. It was fucking horrible. I sent you the picture of like my van with its engine missing and its wheels gone, and I was like, look, we're fucking robbed. And then in brackets again, because it's not the first time it's happened this year. And you said, holy fuck, is there a rival company nearby? And then after that, are you involved in a literal turf war? That just fucking slayed me.
Yeah. I think at the weekend I might have made a better joke than that, but I'm not going to say on the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Not like it's not bad or racist. It's
is
just
it about someone we know?
yes.
Okay. You were talking much about Jack, were you? Or
Nah.
right. So yeah, well, you'll hear from us again before the year is out. Actually, New
On
Year's Eve,
the last day of the year.
the last day of the year, there will be a top 5. Happy Boxing Day, by the way, because obviously this is Boxing Day.
Yeah, you know, when everyone's really sort of just going, I need a podcast.
And when, you want a break from the family, you're a bit sick of Nan because she's had a bit too much sherry, you think, I'm going for a walk, I'll take my phone with me, pop the boys in, and off we go for a little walk.
Do you know that we should have recorded it for that reason. Just like on Christmas Eve, just like, mate, I'm real fucking drunk.
So yeah, so thanks. Thank you to you, Richard, because you've edited 90% of the episodes. Hopefully that's going to be a bit more balanced where you do co-pilots, I do co-directors. But you've really, it's your baby. This whole thing. You've made the website, you put it on iTunes, you do all the artwork for it all.
All you did was had the idea.
All I did was have the idea, and I show up to talk bollocks. So this is your creation.
I mean, to be fair, we finally put that to use for you. So
yeah. So yeah, this has been a really, really good series for us, and looking at what we've got lined up for Series 4, I cannot fucking wait.
Oh yeah, no, season 4 looks good, man. I'm really happy with what we've put together.
Yeah, I don't think we should say what any of them are.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see you in the new year.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Bye.